And while it will be attacked if Sean gets his way, both players know that it can't be killed in one go, thanks to its unique ability. Sean wins the roll to go first and pushes his army up in 3 sections. He refrains from calling the war this turn, which would give his whole army a boost to speed and resilience, instead opting for a staging position, as you can see here. He sends his war boss out. He's looking to sacrifice this piece just to do some damage to the Bloodthirster, so that Sean can then deal with it in 1 turn later on. Without the advance, the war boss only needs a 6 on the charge, pretty reliable with the free reroll. But here, the boss lets the clutch out too quick and stalls on the spot, while the Thirster impatiently stamps his feet. The odds of this are well below average, but then the beauty of Warhammer is how rarely the averages actually come up. So, Sean delays getting the damage rolling on the Bloodthirster, with the only upside being that his war boss gets to live to see the end of his turn. Meanwhile, the looters start the secondary action in the middle, and on the other side of the board, the Storm Boys charge in to make short work of the Nurglings. But the little guys are deceptively durable and spike up on the response, killing 2 of the Storm Boys, and through a little fluke, making the other 3 leg it. Sean gets his first 2 for engage and another 2 for the mission primary, and hands the turn over to the demons. Sully's been handed a couple of advantages here, and he's looking to make use of them, but Sean hasn't given much to attack. The Thirster moves into position to charge the truck, while the Lord of Change and Flamers come forward to do some damage, taking out the war boss and crippling the battle wagons. Now, the Flamers serve a dual purpose here. They've done the damage, but they've also sacrificing themselves by getting in the way of the knobs waiting inside the battle wagon, and keeping them from getting to the juicy stuff on Sol's objective. The Demonettes move up to complete Sully's little fortress, looking to charge into those boys on 1, keeping Sean's primary down and forming another blockade between these 2 ruins. But the dice give and they take away, and it's now Sully's turn to fail a short charge, leaving the Demonettes in the lurch and Sully's war breached. The Thirster makes short work of the truck while the Nurglings go bully the Grots. So Sean gets his 12, holding more objectives than Sully at the start of his turn. Meanwhile, his looters finish their action on the middle, getting him ahead on the board, even if the material bar is a little against him. He uses his momentum, calling the war, making his whole army a little tougher and a lot faster. Zagstruck leaps from the battle wagon, flying right over Sully's screen, while the bikers rush down the flank to join him. And together they take out 2 Flamers and most of the Demonettes. Mega Knobs pop out of the crippled battle wagon, while Grots pile out the other side to soak up the damage from the Lord of Change next turn. The battle wagon itself soaks the overwatch from the Flamers, dying but allowing the Mega Knobs to take them out. Sean sends his knob on Squig alongside the bikers here to put down the Nurglings, and this may look like he's overcompensating after whiffing last turn, but in fact it's just a safer staging position, with the knob getting ready to strike next turn if needed. The rest of the army takes the positional advantage, using the time to put the hurt on the Thirster and those unfortunate Demonettes. The Thirster swings back, but only manages to kill 3 knobs, a couple below average, but Sean does decide to use his once per game auto pass on the morale to keep the others from running away. Sean's really applying the pressure here. While he isn't doing so much damage yet, the Thirster can't stay in that fight, and Zagstruck did a great job getting past Sully's blockade to keep those powerful Flamers from shooting next turn. Sean's Grots do the action here for 5 secondary points, and he gets 3 more for being in 4 table quarters, and another 3 primary for the Nurgling kill. Sully scores his first primary here, and at the table it really looked like the Orcs game. Sully is blocked into the corner, kept to a 4 on primary, and remember that the players don't have the convenience of an endgame score potential. Plenty of players would give up here, but this is the semi-final of the most competitive 40k event in the world. Sully brings in Scarbrand, and he gets to work. The Flamers fall back from Zagstruck, just in case he survives the Changecaster's smite, which he does not. The Lord of Change flies over and lays some mortals on the bikers, leaving 1 alive. The last unit of Flamers materialize from the warp and roast the remaining Storm Boys and Commandos, while the Thirster falls back to avoid being killed by the knobs at its ankles, contesting the war boss on Objective 1. The Bloodletters come in just 3 inches from the knobs and get a very lucky charge, allowing them to spread out and block the rest of Sean's heavy hitters in the battle wagon next turn, while also taking control of the middle objective. Good play, but not very ornate, so Scarbrand shows them how the Blood God likes it, taking out the 4 Mega Knobs. Then the biker smacks the Demonettes, but doesn't do quite enough as the 3 survivors manage to take it down in response. Sully's managed to do a bunch of damage this turn, but he's still suffering on the scoreboard, getting only 1 for Reality Rebels and 3 for the mission. But what a difference a turn can make. Sean gets his 8 points for the objectives and realizes that he may not win the fight for material if he keeps pushing the way he is. So instead, he makes a great choice, deciding to apply just enough pressure while keeping most of his units safe. Because remember that Sully scores his points for killing Sean's characters as well as just killing more orcs. Sean also gets points for killing the big demon characters, but he decides it isn't worth the risk. Instead, he'll rely on his primary lead to get the win. He pulls back his characters, protecting his knob on Squig from the teleporting Lord of Change with his spikers nearby. He lets the Mega Knobs be the roadblock, jumping them out to clear the Bloodletters on 3, while the Battle Wagon finishes the wall, keeping the Bloodthirsters divided, while he conquers the other one with his knobs. The Mega Knobs swing and kill all but one Bloodletter, who is unable to get onto Objective 3. So, Sean's done just what he needed, keeping Sully to a 4 while scoring 2 for table quarters, 3 for character kills, and continuing to do his action with Grots on Objective 5 for 3 points. Sully's third turn. It still feels like the game is against him. He may be up on material, but his position is much worse on the board. He is still in one corner, and he's only got 2 more turns of scoring to go to catch up on that primary. He's really going to have to do quite a lot of damage this turn to push back if he has any chance of taking this game. So, the solo Bloodletter falls back, but stays close to the middle objective, looking to get a little cheeky. All 8 Flamers line up alongside the Lord of Change to bring down the Knobs on 3, as well as the Battle Wagon, while Scarbrand looks to punch his way through whatever jumps out of the wreckage. The Flamers slap a couple of Grots, and a couple more run from morale. The final Bloodletter unit appears, looking to take the fight to these Knobs and try to sneak the objective, but Sean makes smart use of his interrupt, taking out all but one of the letters. Matt then makes his sneaky play, trying to resurrect some Bloodletters to take Objective 1 and Objective 3. On Objective 1, he only needs 2 letters to come back to get onto the point with his Obsec, but he rolls the 1. So the plan fails, and then it's all for nothing because the letters fail their morale and run away anyway. The same trick works better on Objective 3, but not well enough to keep Sean from getting another 12 on the primary. But Sully gets 2 for Rebels at least, and 3 for the mission, and his no prisoners is still ticking up nicely. Sean makes sure all his characters are safe, while the Knobs continue their rampage, charging the Flamers, killing 3 of the 5. The Mega Knobs take out the 2 Bloodletters left in front of them, while staying outside of Scarbrand's heroic intervention range. And then he passes the turn back. He's confident in his score, so he's taking it easy. 1 Secondaries up to 14, he's getting another 3 unengaged this turn, and 3 for the mission, and all he's giving up is Assassinate. Sully's 4th turn here, and he gets his first 8 for primary, and just keeps on pushing out. Flamers rush to assassinate this Knob with Banner, while the Lord of Change comes up and blasts the other Flamers out of combat with some magic. The Demonettes rush out to kill those Grots, while Scarbrand roars at the looters, spiking up and taking them out, before charging and bringing down the last unit of Mega Knobs. This earns Sully 3 for Assassinate, 3 for Reality Rebels, while also letting Sean get 12 for primary and reaching that 45 cap. Sean's final turn here, and he doesn't believe Sully has it in him to equal his score. Remember, there is not a potential score in the moment. He doesn't see just how explosive Sully's last turn could be on the scoreboard at least. So he plays it safe. His Grots protect the Squignob from the Assassin Flamers while scoring his last points on Get the Good Bits, and the Bikes keep the Lord of Change from landing close. Sully's last turn, and he sees the way to the win, but it's going to take a little luck. He teleports the Lord of Change to magic down the War Boss, getting him 4 points. He grabs the middle objective with his 2 Flamers, while Scarbrand stands on Objective 1, getting him 12 for the primary and 3 more for the mission. They count no prisoners, and he's on 12, meaning it all comes down to this kill on the Grots for 1 last point. Sully rolls it out. 3 Flamers kill 10 Grots 80% of the time. But not this time. 3 survive, and Sean pops insane bravery to ensure they don't run from the point. Exactly the sort of game we want from the semis of the LVO. Such a nail-biter, with Morosoli almost pulling it out at the end, just needing his Flamers to roll average to pip the win. You know what I learned most from this game? My takeaway has got to be trust your trash units. Now this is especially helpful for me as I've been running demons since the book came out, and and since this game, I've gotten way more aggressive with my Nurglings. But it's useful no matter what faction you play. Your trash may well be total garbage, but you have to remember, so is theirs. But this game had a hiccup at the beginning of the demon's third turn, so let's go back in time to that moment. Here, the final moments of Sean's turn, I mentioned his Mega Knobs taking down the Bloodletters, leaving just one alive who wasn't quite on the point. In fact, that single Bloodletter was standing on the point, keeping control of it at the start of Solly's turn, which means 4 more primary, which, if things were as they were, it would push Solly into the lead. But Sean may have responded. Knowing he had to get more aggressive, he would have hunted down the demon characters, throwing knobs into Scarbrand, maybe the Lord of Change, and while it seems unlikely that he would win that fight, everyone agreed that it would be impossible to call the outcome for certain. And so, here we have a dilemma. You may be asking, where were the judges? And you probably should be asking that. But I'm not here to point figures. I'm here to applaud the players for pulling through, and they did just that. Sean has won the game. He could just walk away with the win and his honour intact. Instead, he lays it all on the table, offering Solly the chance to roll off for the win. 2 men, 2 dice, just as they would to determine the first turn. What a moment, and I will not spoil it for you. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out on the video link in the description. After that, why not check out this video of the other semis between Mike Porter and Jack Harpster, or the final itself, or the results of the World Championship 2022.